telling you the truth and you still questioning what happened. You ain't truly free and you really never have been. The days of free thought is left back in the past tense, when the only goal was dying as a free man. That real shit that can't be seen on C-SPAN.
Got you thinking that they can't be stopped, but we can. I don't mean by us rapping, I mean if we all stand prepared, a well-planned, a squad of one man, a woman, a millions, Muslims and Christians.
And express our concerns is part of our political heritage. Yeah, it's about as loud as we can get the system. Can you hear me okay back there? Yeah. Okay, all righty. First off, before I get started, and I won't hold you for long, only a few minutes, I'd like to say a special thanks to Nate Smith for all the help that he gave us in putting this together. It would have been difficult to do it without him, and I'm very sorry that he and his family can't be here today. Now, many times our great and good country has met threats to its very existence. In 1777, 1863, 1941, in the Cold War, and in 2001, an aroused America engaged forces which sought to end the American story. That story which has provided the world's best hope for prosperity and justice. Today, an ever-increasing majority of our citizenry sees, with greater clarity, as each presumption, each overreach, each outrage is perpetrated, that our fundamentals, such as respect for the intents of our founding fathers and mothers, adherence to our precious Constitution, free speech, free enterprise, fiscal restraint, personal liberty and responsibility, respect for religion, the sanctity of the family and of unborn life, government no more powerful than is strictly necessary, and the confidence derived from the historical certainty that America has done this world much good, that these bases of America's strength and stability are under unrelenting attack. The attackers comprise a disaffected faction, convinced of its moral and intellectual superiority, and motivated by a ferocious and shocking contempt for that American way, which has afforded the greatest measure of human well-being in history. They hit the ground running in the 60s with their unforgivable oppression of our servicemen returning from combat, and have striven ever since to force unneeded and badly thought out fundamental change on us all. They seek to unravel and reweave our national fabric because they consider it irredeemably flawed. And what pattern do they propose for this new national fabric? One need only look to the 20th century's tragic history of totalitarian social experimentation to see what inspires them, and to see that their way has been thoroughly tested and discredited.
Yes. Yeah. That's right.
Amen. Preach it. Preach it.
They attack all that is sacred, valued, and proven in America, and they presume to use our government to do so. America by their lights would no longer be America. And in this, they do threaten our very existence. What are we to do? Are we to wilt when they invoke their political correctness? Are we to be intimidated when our military and our intelligence are prosecuted for doing their jobs? And when some of the most successful among us are hauled before Congress for warning their employees of plausible effects of government mismanagement? Are we to bow in shame, along with our president, before declared enemies whose medieval view of government was rejected by our culture 300 years ago? Do we retreat when we see the Judeo-Christian spiritual foundation of our democracy vilified and suppressed?
Heck no!
No! Do we stand by when entire livelihoods are wiped out at a pen stroke by government do-gooders who know nothing of what it is to run a business? Are we to pretend that we did not learn budgetary wisdom in leading positive individual lives? Will we fail American generations which risked all to secure this wondrous living standard we are fortunate enough to enjoy? No. Most emphatically, our Tea Party says no. We, the great majority, are the common sense, nuts and bolts people. We know socialism is just fine. Until you run out of other people's money, that is.
Right.
We know that it's wrong to forcibly redistribute the laboriously earned wealth of the productive to the willfully unproductive.
Including the government.
For sure. We cherish our Constitution, a document which has blessed us with more political stability than has any ever written, and which guarantees us personal dignity and power heretofore hardly imagined, and in much of the world still unrealized. We know all humans are born with rights which cannot be granted or taken by government, because government is only a human creation, which should only serve, and that only at our pleasure. The present administrations of both our federal and New York State governments think that they alone know what is best for us, and that we ought to concede this and let them take over. If we don't, they would simply impose on us the patronizing and destructive visions they dreamed up in their college dorm rooms in the 60s and 70s. To this, our Tea Party says, no. Hell no.
Hell no.
Step off, step back, get off our backs.
Yeah.
We will be heard.
That's right. Yeah.
We will be heard at the public meetings government must hold when it seeks to change the rules. We will be heard when legislatures meet and legislators appear. We will be heard on the daily broadcast news, online, in the opinion media, and most decisively, on Election Day.
Yeah!
Defend the proven American way. Let's take our country's politics back. God save our beloved land. Thank you.
Next, we're going to hear a few words from Mike Alimo.
Hey, how you doing today? Woo! Tough times out there. And actually, I'm going to introduce my son first. I had a speech, but I can't even find it. My son has been interested in politics for a while now. He spoke out about issues and louder. Don't try to hurt me. Anthony Alimo.
Hey!